Fire and how we got to be
You're
one
looking
of the most
at the
successful
birth of
TV
the
shows.
NWA on the East Coast.
That's right.
And
2 count right there.
It's gotten stronger and stronger as the year went on. I'll tell you what, it really grew by leaps and bounds. It's phenomenal.
Hey, absolutely, man. And like we've been saying for the last 20 minutes or so, it's all because of you, the fans, believing in us, trusting in us, and coming out to see us.
That's right. And you know what? A lot of the fans, when they leave, I've had many walk up to me and tell me what a great show it was.
You know, it's a lot of hard work, guys. It's, you know, they don't understand. People think that you rent a wrestling ring or you own a ring and you pull up to the building and you set it up and it's a show.
No, it's a lot more than
There's
that.
hundreds of hours of video editing. There's hundreds of hours of hanging up posters and driving to and from the shows. And most of these guys, you know, they're driving 10 to 12 hours to get there for you guys, the fans. And, you know, we just want to tell you, it's a lot of hard work, but you guys are making it worthwhile for us.
And just by you guys showing up is enough appreciation to these guys to get in there and do their best.
There's a 3 count right there by Little Guido. Now we go to one of the matches that changed the history, and maybe the history of the NWA right now, as the Players Club were coming off their 16-month anniversary. Juicy Justin and Davey Boy Bling were facing the Samoan Warriors for the tag team titles. This is when I still had a hand in managing the Samoans, Tommy.
Was this one of the first times they faced them? I'm not sure.
Yeah, this is, I think, the second actual matchup that they had.
And they've had many of them through the year.
Yeah.
These guys generally dislike each other. You know
Absolutely. And it's funny because the Samoans, as vicious as they are, they're very kind, giving people.
They are.
And they did not like the Players Club.
I just wish I could understand them. You ever try interviewing a guy who can't speak?
Yeah, I try. You know, I got to be honest with you, it's not easy.
It's not easy. But you're right about them being big-hearted. You know, they love the kids.
They love the kids. You know, thank God the first couple of weeks I had them in the United States, I was a little worried if they liked them too much. You know, these guys will eat anything, a finger or an ear. But, you know, I realized after a while that they generally understood that the children had to be safe. And,
well, the Samoan culture is a very loving culture. You know that, don't you? They're family-oriented.
Yes, the normal Samoan culture is you know, America, Samoa, they're very, you know, Americanized.
Yeah.
But you got to realize I found these guys in the jungle, Tommy.
I know. What the heck were you doing in the jungle?
I got lost. I was looking for something to eat.
I hope you found it.
Yeah, well, these guys, you know, I'm not going to say much other than what happened, but I'll tell you what, I was pretty darn scared when I ran into them the first time.
They scared me the first time, too. But since I've gotten to know them, you know, I wish I could converse with them, but I can't.
They're becoming a little more Americanized every week here on TV. I see they learned how to say the word Samoa. I saw them a couple weeks ago in a street fight, which will be airing pretty soon. They understood how to get to the concession stand.
You know, it's something that surprised me once in the dressing room. I thought I heard one of them say my name, Tom.
It might have been.
And I could be wrong, but I thought I heard it.
Look at him right there. Savagery right there. Look at that chop to the top of the head of Davey Boy Bling.
The guy is built like a bulldozer. Look at him. I mean, both of them. One is a bulldozer. The other one is a crane. I mean, look at the massive weight on these guys.
There you saw Kyle Durgan, who just had a terrible 2008 in the NWA.
Yeah.
His guys lost the belts. They had title shots.
Well, he's got himself to blame for that, too, you know. A lot of the blame's got to fall on his shoulders.
The pampered lifestyle he gave these guys.
Well, you know, they got soft. That's what the problem
Absolutely.
was. They got soft. And not only did they get soft, but the competition has improved so greatly with the NWA. It's not a walkthrough anymore, you know?
Absolutely. The Apollos.
And that goes for anybody in professional wrestling.
Danny Inferno, the Apollos, the Giant Pharaohs, the Rick Fullers. These are main events all over the country.
You got it.
All in one spot now in the great state of Maine.
Listen, I remember Apollo in Puerto Rico would fill a baseball stadium with 53,000 people, you know, and that wasn't that far off.
You know, and he's coming here for one reason, because the word is out.
The word is out, and I think he wants a piece of that giant, too.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think it's a combination of both, but I got to be honest with you, Tommy. The NWA On Fire website, every day, 50 to 100 wrestlers around the globe asking us for work.
Exactly.
Wanting to come in because they heard this is the spot to be, that the state of Maine is giving us huge ratings on TV. They heard that the fans are showing up in droves. They got pretty women. They've got the best food in the entire country.
Oh, yeah, they do.
And these guys want to be where the action's hot.
Exactly. And they know the competition's here. You know, the only way that they can succeed is to go against prime competition.
Tommy, I'm going to say something right now to a real wrestling fan, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. and you were around for this. Tommy, the last great company to stand on its own on a cable station in one state was Georgia Championship Wrestling, hosted by the great Gordon Soley. And I'll tell you this right now, NWA on Fire is just mere baby steps away. And I'm going to finish that thought when we get back. Tommy, we're back with more of the recap of 2008, and I was making a point right before we went to commercial about the last great NWA company to stand on its own for many, many years was the great Georgia Championship Wrestling with Gordon Soley.
Gordon Soley, one of the legends of professional wrestling.
Absolutely. And Tommy, I truly believe that the state of Maine can carry us to the heights that Georgia had, if not surpass it.
Absolutely, and you know what? We're not that far from it.
We're not, and the great, the great fans in Maine are the reason why. And guys, again, thank you. I know it's getting a little repetitive, and I won't say it again, but we love coming there. We love the fact that you've gotten behind us, and it makes it special, to come up there and for you guys to open us with open arms. I've received gifts, meals, everything else from you guys. The friends I've made up there, the people working with us behind the scenes, everyone, thank you so much.
Let me tell you, the Mainites, the people that live in Maine, they're the meat and potatoes of the United States of America. You know that, don't you?
Absolutely. Here we go, Tom. This was the debut, I believe, of Air Samoa.
I cannot believe a guy that weighs that much and looks that way can do something like this.
That was the debut of Air Samoa here.
That's right.
And that was the title change right there, heard around the world. The Samoan Warriors winning the NWA Tag Team Championship.
Oh, boy. I remember this night.
Kyle Durgan running around the ring with the belts. He refused to give them up.
He went berserk that night. You should have heard him in the dressing room. Boy, was he going bananas.
Talking about going bananas, our next segment here is going to be a recap of Judas Young and Danny Inferno. And talk about going bananas.
I tell you, what a soap opera that's been. I got to tell you something. This has been going on all year long.
Look at that handsome guy climbing into the ring right there.
Who is that masked man?
Yeah, I wish I was wearing a mask. I had to come up and congratulate these two. Tom, it's lonely being here in another country, not being able to speak the language or anything, coming all the way from Samoa to the United States on my trust. But soon after this, I realized these guys needed to be on their own. I didn't want to be in a situation like with Captain Lou Albano and Jimmy Snuka. And,
right.
There's money involved. But right here, Tom, this is it. This was a night that changed the face of the NWA. This is when we saw a new champion crown. The television championship changed hands.
This was the beginning of it. This was the beginning of the great feud.
Danny Inferno, Judas Young, they had wrestled a few times before this. This night in Newark, New Jersey ended in controversy that is still
red hot.
It is red hot.
Still red hot. I tell you what, it's still like it happened yesterday.
The two of them will end up eventually bumping heads and knocking each other unconscious. Danny Inferno's leg ends up draped over the leg of Judas Young. Referee Fred Richards constituted that as an attempted pinfall. He counts the 1, 2, 3, and thus the title changes hands.
Oh, I tell you what, Judas was, I've never seen
He's still irate.
Oh, he's still right. If you walk up to him today and mention Danny Inferno's name, he goes crazy.
And you know what, Tommy? This is an event here that may have ruined a promising career because he has not been the same person since.
No, because he forgot about the wrestling and he's looking for the revenge.
Right.
He forgot the art of wrestling and he just wants revenge any way he can get it.
This is a kid that held the title for over 1 year.
That's right.
And Danny Inferno, fresh off a stint in OVW wrestling, has come in, taken the title. But Tommy, let's not forget that Danny Inferno woke up after this match in a little bit of an identity crisis.
That's right. He didn't know where he was or who he was.
And to this day, he thinks he's Terry Funk.
I can't figure that one out.
I can. I think I have 2 words for you that can figure this whole mystery out. Baby Huey.
Yeah, you're right there. You got a point. That's another one.
He's got one numbnuts that thinks he's Terry Funk and another one who thinks he's Cactus. And every time something happens, he's in the middle of it, Tom.
I can't believe when I interview Baby Huey that I'm interviewing a full-grown man wearing diapers.
In a diaper. And he yells and gets upset if you question why.
I know.
I mean, as a matter of fact, he's asked you if you wanted a diaper.
Exactly.
And there's the finish right there. The leg draped over the thigh. The 3 count made by Fred Richards. And right now the crowd didn't know what to expect.
I gotta tell you something. I kind of think that Judas does have a point. What do you think?
I have to go by the referee's decision. And I got to be honest with you, his leg was over his leg, Tom.
Yeah, that's true.